Today, we are going to read a very awesome book that you've been waiting on. Donald Barr. That name might ring a bell. Donald Barr, I believe Jr. perhaps was the Attorney General, Trump's first term. Well, his father, that Attorney General's father, was the headmaster at a prestigious school. Kind of think about the school from Gossip Girl, Big Money School. That gentleman, Donald Barr Sr., wrote a fantastic book or a fantasy book. And we're going to get into it right now. So, the name of the book is Space Relations by Donald Barr. Naked, wincing, waiting, John Craig lay on his back on the cold examination table, his knees raised, his feet on either side of the big pedals, his hands palm up beside him in a thicket. No, it was a Gorgon's chevalier of wires. Green wires, white wires, cerise wires, black wires, yellow wires, wires leading from probes tamped into every orifice of his body, from electrodes sucking at his pallid skin in 31 places, from catheters threaded along four arteries and two veins to a sleek gray cabinet, the terminal. Medusa loves me, hardening my flesh, Craig quoted in a mumble around two fat white wires. He gagged 4 kilometers away in Bethesda. The health executive's North American computer retrieved the 38-year record of John Craig's physiology. Back to back with the gray and large blue cabinet rattled briefly and, like an idiot belching and sticking out his tongue, pushed forth several inches of paper. MD8 Kraus, scuttling back and forth in the traditional white smock of his guild, glanced at the paper, checked the anal and urethral probes with a plastic-gloved finger. Son of a bitch, mumbled Craig, said heartily. We're on the line. Relax, John. Peeled off the plastic glove, slid a brace of plump gray earphones over Craig's damp sandy hair and a single white one over his own white bristles, ran a thumb over the soft inside of Craig's left forearm and peered with half a smile at the MS43985 neatly branded there. Keyed digits into the PSB on the cabinet and pressed the blue Start Program button. Oh, I'm wholly relaxed, mumbled Craig. Breathe in, said the earphones in a warm female voice. Hold your breath. Release your breath. Breathe naturally. In, out, in. Expel all your breath. Force it out. Stop breathing. Breathe naturally. Place your feet on the pedals. Begin pedaling. The LHVM series lasted 4 minutes. Kraus pressed the green Continue Program button. You will now experience, said the warm female voice, a series of mild stimuli from some of the electrodes on your skin. Please do not be alarmed. They will be very mild, like a momentary tickling. Please do not try to suppress your reactions. Please do not scratch or try to remove the electrodes. The NRN series was, as promised, like being teased with a huge invisible feather. It lasted a minute and a half. When it was over, Craig raised his eyes expectantly to Kraus, but the physician shook his head, held up a warming hand, turned to the gray cabinet, keyed 4 digits into the PSB, pressed the blue Start Program button, and turned back again with a countenance totally blank of expression. Craig's eyes narrowed. A new voice in his earphones, a metallic tenor, instantly recognizable as synthesized speech of 4 or 5 parameters at best, said, I am going to pronounce some ordinary words. Listen, but do not reply. Simply remain relaxed. Close your eyes if it helps you to relax. Now, please pay attention. Duty. A pause of 2 seconds. Average. Pause. Cut. Protect. Eat. Shame. Leisure. Warm. Exquisite. Control. Pink. Nighttime. Teeth. Essence. Relief. Wild. The robot voice intoned 40 words and then said, Thank you for listening. Kraus busied himself with the PSB for a moment. The blue cabinet whirred, belched twice, and vomited paper. The physicians waited a few moments after the seizure was over, pulled the long printout loose and studied it, chewing his upper lip. You are a crafty old quack, aren't you? Mumbled Craig and gagged. Crafty enough to winkle what I want to out of the likes of you, said Kraus equitably. I have everything we need. Let's disconnect you. The buzzer sounded on a wall videophone at the other side of the room. Sorry, John, said Kraus. Just let me get rid of this. He hurried to the phone and thumbed the switch. A young man in his medical white looked anxiously out at the screen and said, Kraus, Frederick, MD8? Yes, said Kraus. The young man held something outside his video cam range and compared it with Kraus. All right, go to July code 5Z, please. Oh, 5Z, please. Abruptly, the image eddied into streaks. Kraus pulled a flimsy from his smock pocket, peered at it, and punched a sequence into the keyboard. The young man in white reappeared. Walters Carl, HT4. At Bethesda, he said, Is that your patient on the table, sir? The one you had online? Yes, Craig, John, Armbuster. CD816, MID, NA 111226257. Right, sir. Well, I have to report a tap, that is. An attempt to tap his examination, somewhere. Somewhere? Yes, sir. Remarkable. Right in good old somewhere. Not here in Bethesda, I mean. You say attempt, snapped Kraus. Was it successful? We don't know, sir. It could have been, depends on who, on whether. Kraus glanced over his shoulder at Craig. Craig grinned mirthlessly. Kraus said, You mean, young man, it depends on whether this was a government tap? Yes, sir, and if it was probably successful. Yes, sir. Well, my young friend, said the physician firmly, you may as well forget the matter. What's a little snooping between friends? That is a point of view, sir. I can't read this no more. This is so convoluted, just garbage. This just really goes to my theory that like people in positions of power are fucking dumb. I mean, the higher you get up, this gentleman is the dean at some prestigious school, teaching the next generation of rich freaking CEOs and fucking company owners. And this son of a bitch writes like a third grade who got hold of a dictionary. What the hell are you trying to say? This is garbage, beyond garbage. No wonder I couldn't find this on YouTube, because nobody wants to go through reading this, bro. This is a bunch of bullshit.